And what's happening in Cuba continues to make headlines. Radio host Enrique Santos from Turno 24.9 has been one of the most vocal about the situation there.
I spoke with Enrique a short time ago about the reality of what's happening and what, if anything, we can do to help. Enrique, I was listening to the show on my way in this morning, and I kept hearing Esperanza, Esperanza, Esperanza. For our viewers who don't speak Spanish, Esperanza, of course, is hope. Do you think that is what people are feeling primarily right now in not only Cuba, but in our Cuban-American community here?
Oh, yeah, it's new hope, seeing the Cuban people for the first time in 62 plus years take the streets of Cuba.
You and I are both Cuban Americans. I went to Cuba in 2012 for work, and I have to tell you, the look in the people's eyes when I was speaking with them and interacting with them was fear. They were shy, they were timid, they were reluctant to talk about anything even closely related to politics. Why now do you think Cubans on the island have finally found their voice?
So, you know, we've been analyzing this for months, especially now this entire week since Sunday. We can't forget what happened, you know, and how all this transpired, and the fact, we can't ignore the fact that this all started really because of a song, Patria y Vida, from Gente de Zona and Yotuel, that's now become like an anthem for this movement. We cannot ignore the fact that social media, music, artists are the ones that have impulsed, at least given that little oomph, that push to the Cuban people to say, hey, we're here with you.
We've been talking about the influencers, about the artists who, you know, you would think these big politicians would be making the difference, but that's not necessarily the case. With that said, there has been a lot of attention brought to the hypocrisy of American artists and celebrities who, when travel restrictions were lifted, were traveling to the island and they were taking pictures and they were posting them on social media. Did that cross your mind as well?
Sure, and it's hard, you know, to see people that we care for and that we like and that we admire, like Jay-Z and Beyonce that have been to Cuba before. And I'm not the type of person that likes to imposing on people and you know, telling people what to do. That's what a dictatorship does. But it does hurt me a bit.
As people living in Miami, we want to see this be the change. On day 4, do you think now is the time to finally see that change, or are we being overly optimistic?
You know what I will ask everybody is to be, level minds will prevail. We live in a democracy. We're a country of laws. There's international laws to follow here. I know there's a lot of criticism. Politics plays a huge role here.
As far as that rational thinking, people down here in South Florida, we saw everybody on the 826 yesterday, the Palmetto Expressway. We can't forget that Governor DeSantis did sign anti-riot law into effect. Blocking the Palmetto Expressway, I understand it. I understand the passion behind it. That does not fix what is happening in Cuba. Is there a way that people can truly make a difference when it comes to what's happening, can truly help the people?
So I understand the pain and the frustration, but we have to understand, and I plead to all of our listeners in South Florida and throughout the country, because it wasn't just South Florida. Let's be mindful that our police, our men and women in uniform in Miami-Dade County, they are not the enemy. So let's keep that clear. They're here helping them. Many of them are tied in one way or another to the misery and to the Cuban tragedy, right?
And let's keep that esperanza, how we started this interview. Let's keep that hope.
Yes.
Enrique Santos, thank you so much. As always, a friend of our show. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for doing what you're doing.
Gracias a ti, amiga. SOS Cuba. Patria y Vida.
Great story.
Thanks, Joe. That was a team effort because we were both messaging back and forth about the story. Something I think that is worth pointing out, this is not just a Cuban issue, this is a human issue. Right. But I also want to recognize other Latin American artists like Mark Anthony, for instance, who have really stepped up to the plate, and he may not be Cuban, but as part of all of these artists coming forward, he's been very active on social media as well when it comes to showing support.
We know Mark Anthony has, Don Omar, both Puerto Rican. They have also put out their thoughts on this issue and asking everyone to help and to just put Cuba on the radar of what we need to know. But I have to say kudos to Enrique for just allowing, I think, the South Florida community to have a moment to just share how they feel. He's opened up the airways for people to just, I heard people crying this morning, and you can feel it, the hurt and the pain that they have.
Yeah, you said the word help, and I think that's what everybody's trying to do, but the reality is no one's quite sure how to help. No one's quite sure what to do. Is it giving something physical? Is it, there's no option as far as going there and doing something. So what you said, Enrique has given the platform just to feel and to be vocal and to keep the conversation going. So that's one thing that is a step in the right direction.
To be heard. There's something beautiful about that, right?
Yeah, the full interview, we spoke for more than 12 minutes, is online on NBC6. Check out our YouTube channel. You'll find it there as well.